Hey everybody, I am 37 weeks and 5 days today. It's like midnight when I'm recording this and I'm uploading it. I'm going to upload it tonight at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I am 37 weeks and 5 days today, which means I have 2 weeks and 2 days left until my due date. I had an appointment, not yet. No, yesterday. I had an appointment yesterday, and that was my 37-week appointment. And for my 36-week appointment, I asked the doctor to check me, and he said I was 1 centimeter dilated and 50% effaced. So I was so excited to see like how I had progressed with my 37-week appointment. But when we got there, I got extremely sick and I was like puking everywhere, and not really puking everywhere, but I was like in the bathroom puking for like a long time, and I could not control my nausea at all. Like it was just, it was so bad. So, he didn't check me because I was like vomiting and stuff, and it was like really bad. So, and I saw a different doctor than I usually see, just because my doctor had surgeries like all week whenever I wanted to have an appointment because I wanted to come in the morning, and he had surgeries. He has surgeries like all in the morning, and he does his labor and delivery shift is like from like really late at night to really early in the morning. So I was like sad, but the doctor that I did get, he's like my second choice. If I were to go into labor, he's like the second choice that I have to deliver the baby. So it wasn't like that bad of a deal, but he was talking to me about my nausea, and he said that sometimes, women that are in labor, or in like about to go into labor, they get really nauseous. And so it just means that like, my labor is coming, not like in a day or anything, but like, I'm getting close. So he said every woman's different with how, their labor progresses and stuff. And so he doesn't really know how I'm going to be since this is my first. So he wasn't going to give me any like false hope or anything. But he gave me like the number to labor and delivery, and he was like, make sure you keep this on you at all times and all this stuff. And so, and he gave me like a bunch of tips on like how to tell if I'm in labor, and like what he does himself whenever someone goes into labor and delivery and he's on shift. So that was kind of nice to know like what he's gonna do if I go into labor and he's the one that's there. So I did like how he kind of like explained everything that he was gonna do, just because he does work a fourth of the shifts there. So it would be kind of stupid of me not to listen to what he's gonna say. But yeah, that was my appointment. So he said that like my next appointment that he'll check me. So, and I have him at my next appointment too because my doctor was booked completely, like absolutely and completely booked for the entire week. And I couldn't even get my second choice doctor until Friday. So I usually have my appointments on Tuesday, and I'm gonna have this one on Friday, and that's gonna be one day before 39 weeks. So I don't know how I feel about that because I'm thinking that I'm going to go into labor 38 weeks, like next week, and he is gonna be doing my like checkup or whatever like I'm gonna be one day away from 39 weeks. So it's just kind of weird. But anyways, symptoms and craziness. I have had a lot of back pain, and I think I mentioned this in my last video, but Cole is sunny side up. So his face is like pointing this way, and his butt is like pointing that way. Like his butt is pointing towards my butt. His face is like pointing is the same direction as my face. And like the optimal birthing position is opposite, just because of how your hip bones are shaped and stuff. The head fits better through the other through the opposite way. So and I asked my doctor about that. Well, the guy that I saw last, I asked him about it, and he felt around and he said that he couldn't really tell which way he was facing when he felt. He couldn't really tell which way he was facing because he said that, you know, the hands can be like back here on his head, and I could feel like his hands, and I could think they're at his face, you know, and he's really got him behind his head. And he said, you know, that's not a very good way to tell when, like, his hand position isn't a very good way to tell, and his leg position isn't a good way to tell either, because I could think I'm feeling his knees and I'm really feeling his butt, but I'm pretty almost 100% positive that he is head up because of the way that he kicks me and the way that his legs move in my stomach, and that I can see like how his legs are moving. Like I can see his entire leg moving. And so I don't know. I told him that I thought that he was posterior, and he said even if he is posterior, that could be the way that, you know, my hips are more comfortable, my hip bones are more comfortable, and his head fits better, because some women, their hips are shaped like this, and it's like easier for the baby to go posterior than anterior. So but he said that it was mostly in black women, and I was like, I'm super white, like I don't think that my hips are shaped like that. Like it's like 1 in a million chance that my hips are shaped like that. So I don't know. It was kind of weird. So he was like really optimistic about it, and he said, you know, usually babies will flip around, you know, when you're in labor, the babies flip around themselves. So you shouldn't worry about it. Don't try to flip him, blah, blah, blah. So whatever. I'm just done with trying to flip him. But today, I went for a walk for like, it was probably like a good 3.5 miles I walked today. And I didn't do it all at once. I did it in 2 separate sessions. I walked like at 3, and then I walked again at like 5 or 6 o'clock. So I like spread it out, and I was bouncing on my ball all day. I have an exercise ball, and I bounced on it the entire day. And like when I wasn't walking, I was bouncing on the ball, and I started having really, really bad back pain. And the thing that I've seen like the most on the internet about posterior babies is that you'll have a really horrible back labor. So I had back pain, and it just got way, 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 way more intense. Like every single like hour that passed, it was just worse and worse and worse and worse. And only just maybe 30 minutes ago, it got like to the point of where I wasn't like laying down in excruciating pain. Like it hurt so bad, and I was having contractions, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going into labor. I put myself in labor because I walked 3.5 miles and bounced on my ball all day. So, which I was excited about because I'm like done being pregnant and I just want him out. So, I was like super excited about it. And then my husband left for work because he works mid shift, and I was laying here trying to finish my homework before I have to go into the hospital, and I'm not going to be able to do my homework. And I was trying to finish it, and my contractions stopped. They just like died down, and my back pain like died down. So I don't know what it was, but I know that you're not supposed to do this, but I do it anyways because I'm not stupid. And as long as you're not like mentally retarded, you could probably do it yourself. I check my own cervix, and I don't do it like every 2 seconds or anything. I just do it whenever I feel like I have dilated or may be dilating more. So my last appointment, I was 1 centimeter dilated and 50% effaced, which 1 centimeter is like your fingertip dilated. It's like not very much at all. Like the opening of your cervix is like maybe a finger. And when I went to check my cervix earlier today, it was like 2 fingers, like in 2 fingers that can like move around like easily. So, which would be probably, I'm thinking about 2.5 to 3 centimeters that I'm dilated now. So I'm like getting close. I had all this back pain today and contractions, and they just died down like not even an hour ago. So I'm thinking like this weekend is going to be like the weekend that I go into labor, but gosh, I hope so. I'm just ready for this to be like done. And but if I do not go into labor this weekend and I make it to my appointment on Friday, I am 120% doing a membrane sweep. And if you don't know what a membrane sweep is, it's where the doctor, he'll take his finger and put his finger like up your cervix and swipe the membranes up around the baby's head, and it releases, I don't know if it releases prostaglandins or if it releases a different type of, it releases something. I think it's prostaglandins, but that can jumpstart labor. And it releases like a lot of them because prostaglandins, I'm pretty sure it's called prostaglandins. Anyways, they're released like every time the baby like pushes down into your cervix. It makes your body like release these prostaglandins. So him doing that like releases a lot of them. It just like is like an explosion of them, and it can like send you into labor. So a lot of people say like after they have their membrane sweep, they'll go into labor like 24 hours or 48 hours later, or they'll become a lot more dilated. It's just easier for them to dilate to the next, centimeter or whatever. And my strep B test came back negative, and that was the only thing keeping me from getting a membrane sweep. So I'm good to get one. So if I make it to my appointment on Friday, I am for sure getting a membrane sweep, and I am for sure walking like 20 miles after that appointment, and I'm for sure getting him out next weekend. Like, it's happening. We're ready for him to be here, and I know it's like 2 weeks early, but I just, I, it's just, I have to have him out. Like, I don't even know. I have to have him out. Like, I'm just not going to go to my due date. And my mom, she had, like, my brother, like, 2 weeks early. So, I think that I'm I don't know what the word is. Like, I don't know. I think I'm, like, supposed to have him 2 weeks early, too. Just because you follow in your genetic, like, your mother or your father's footsteps genetically, and like with pregnancy you always follow like in your mother's footsteps almost to a T. And so I think that even if I didn't get a membrane sweep, he would be born at 38 weeks anyways. That's just how I think of things. But he seems like he's ready. He seems like he really wants to get out of there. A lot of the time whenever I walk, he like pushes his head down. Like every time I'll like take a step, I can feel him like, kind of like his head like just bouncing. If I put my hands on my belly, I can feel his whole body like just bouncing like with my movement. But then he will get like excited and he'll kick off the top of my stomach or like the side of my stomach, because his feet are usually like contorted over to the side because there's like not enough room. So he'll like with his knees like push off the top of my stomach and push his head down. So I mean, he knows like how to get out. Like, he's pretty smart. I mean, he's like trying to push his head down. I just think that my cervix isn't soft enough to allow him to come out yet, you know? So we're just like waiting on my cervix to soften up, and I'm like, come on, you know? So, that's pretty cool to like know that he's ready. He's, you know, trying at least a little bit to come out. And then another thing that's been happening is like I have like these little I think I mentioned this in my last vlog, like these little pains in my cervix. Like it just feels like, I don't know, I get like stabbed right in the cervix. And I looked it up online, and a lot of people say, you know, those are contractions, and that's how contractions feel or whatever. But it's like 2 seconds long, and I highly doubt they're contractions. I don't think people know what they're talking about. But I do think that it is my cervix like trying to soften or open, you know, dilate or something. I do think it's something like that. But I do not think that they are contractions. So whoever is saying that is kind of stupid, because like when you have a contraction, a legitimate contraction, your uterus hardens. It's like nothing to do, well, it is a lot to do with your cervix, but it's just you can't have like one without the other, because I mean, your uterus is contracting to push that baby down, and then your cervix is also opening because your, you know, your uterus is tightening, you know, like this. So, and that, you know, that contraction is pushing that baby down. So, they're not contractions. So, yeah. And let's see, what else? This video is already 17 minutes long. My belly is like really low. And oh, I have like super bad hip pain. Like I know that my hips are not like close together at all anymore. Like they are completely spread apart. And I keep on having these pains in like my inner thigh. Like by my that vein in your leg, and I cannot think of what it's called. I am like having the worst pregnancy brain right now. Anyways, by the main vein in my leg, and I'm gonna look at this video and think, what were you thinking? You're an idiot. Once I think of what the name of the vein is. But by that vein, my nerve endings right there, they feel, I'd think they're getting like pinched or something. It doesn't really feel like a pinched nerve per se, but like, because I mean, when you have a pinched nerve, it's like numbness. It's just like something's like squeezing my nerve. And it's like shooting down like my whole thigh, but it's not like sciatic nerve pain. It's not in the back of my leg. It's in the inside of my leg. And I also looked that up on the internet, and it said when, you know, your hips, especially like people that are really active, when your hips spread, when you are in your later stages of pregnancy, when your hips spread like too far, that you can get this like pain, like nerve pain, and it's just because like your hips are spread so far and stuff, and you can wear one of those bands and it'll like prevent it. But I'm not gonna get one of those stupid bands just for like, I've got 2 weeks and 2 days left to my due date. Like, I'm not gonna get it for 2 weeks. But it is pretty painful, especially when I'm walking, because I mean, like, it makes me want to collapse on the ground. Like, it is like with every step, it is more and more painful until it goes away. and I don't know what makes it go away, but it does. And yeah, but yeah, I'm having that, back pain, cervix pain, lots of pain. I'm having a lot of pain. So I'm hoping this means that it's like around the corner. So yeah, I'm gonna show you my belly and then I'm gonna be done because it's like 20 minutes long and that's ridiculous. Okay. This is my belly at 37 weeks and 5 days. It is whew, really, really hard at the bottom, like down here. This is like, he's like just laying right here. All, like his knees and everything are all balled up the bottom of my belly. And then, like if you can tell, there's like nothing up here. Like he is not up here at all. Like not even his feet. One of his feet are like right there, but that the rest of my stomach, there's nothing. There's nothing up here at all. This is all just nothing. So he's completely at the bottom of my belly, and it's crazy. But yeah, so that is my belly, that is my everything, that's my vlog for this week. And hopefully I won't have a next vlog. Maybe my next vlog will be my labor and delivery vlog, hopefully, but we'll see. So I'll see you next video, whatever that may be. I don't have any idea. All right, bye.